Youth League happy with President Cyril Ramaphosa's cabinet reshuffle? Did President Ramaphosa consult the young lions before reshuffling the cabinet? What should be done with the ANC officials implicated in allegations of state capture and corruption? Are political parties using the expropriation of land without compensation ideal for political point scoring? What time is it? It's question time. Khotsong, Gurula, Mraro, and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho. The African National Congress has been under the spotlight since the Elective Conference in December last year. The gathering saw Cyril Ramaphosa being elected the president of the party. This culminated in his swearing in as state president a few weeks ago. This was not without drama, though, after then President Jacob Zuma resigned a day before facing a motion of no confidence. President Ramaphosa announced in his new cabinet earlier this week that resulted in the axing of a number of ministers. Following the ANC Youth League, the ANC Youth League has expressed its concerns regarding what they term lack of youth representation in the cabinet. The ANC Youth League says it will seek an audience with the ANC leadership and the president in particular to get clarity on this action. We are live. Therefore, you can call us and hear your views. The numbers to dial is 089-1104-210. Internationally, +2789-1104-210. Or tweet us your comments at our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. And a reminder that you can also stream us on our Facebook page, SABC News Online, and our YouTube channel, YouTube/SABC Digital News. Now, my guest is Collen Maine, the ANC Youth League president, and he is supposed to join us from our Hatfield studios. I'm just waiting for an indication that he has indeed arrived there. But meanwhile, whilst we are waiting for the president of the ANC Youth League to get to our studios at Hatfield, what are your thoughts? The number to dial is +2789-1104-210, or rather 089-1104-210. What did you think? Do they have a point? Perhaps they do. Because the South African political landscape, if we shall just take a quick reflection, has seen a lot of dynamism injected into various political parties. This includes the opposition. If you look at the EFF, the DA, and perhaps those being the two biggest parties in the opposition parties that is in the land, they have sort of reflected what in general you would say is the population of South Africa, which according to Stats SA is a fairly youthful that is population. So perhaps let us meanwhile engage and share your thoughts with us. The number to dial will be on your screen there, 089-1104-210. Let's go to, is it Soshanguve? The Soshanguve rather. I'm not getting your name very well. Is it Butselo or... welcome to the show. Ntatwaka. Oh, Motolo. Ntate Motolo le phela jwang?
Ke phela magane moholo wena.
A re lebohe ntatwaka.
Modimo. Ntate Tselu. I think the Youth League is being unfair. Because the Youth League knew very well that the reshuffle was going to happen. And then, according to the gentleman that joined, I think it was the day before yesterday, from SACP, the national spokesperson, he said that there was a trusted consultation with all the structures of the ANC, including the alliance structures. Now, if they are coming forth to say now we are unhappy with the decision that Ramaphosa took, perhaps Bona they had insinuated or preambled that they want so and so to be part of that particular cabinet. Consultations were made. And one should also remember that from the beginning, the Youth League declared that they don't want CR17 to become the president of the organization. So we are not shocked by their behavior now that CR17 is the president. Consultation was made. And one thing that we also need to acknowledge is that activities of the Youth League, they are no longer vibrant. The Youth League is dead. Since the exit of Julius Malema, there's no longer Youth League. Because even the president of the Youth League, Collen Maine, is very frustrated. You don't even know what he's doing. cannot say Collen Maine is the president of the Youth League. It's no longer youth, is now out of that hierarchy, the youth itself. That is number one. It's frustrated leader. Secondly, did not support the president. Thirdly, he was consulted. I think it was part and parcel because I watched the news when the NEC had a special meeting in Pretoria at night. His car went out around 11 at night. He was there. And then why is he coming to public to say they're not happy with the decision that was taken by the president and NEC when he was part and parcel of that party? Is that a stunt to get fame and to be on the headline news and so forth?
But Mtholo, is it not true that the average member of that executive is what, 60, 62? It doesn't reflect the population of the country. Isn't that at least a point you would give to the Youth League?
One thing that I want to make on record is that I'm not an ANC member, I'm an EFF member, number one. But I am not against the decisions that were taken by Comrade Ramaphosa, because one thing that he mentioned in the beginning, he said, I want continuity. Remember, this is just a tenure that is a year and a half, and then he will be the president officially after being elected on a national level. Okay. To say, after national general elections, we will be elected. I think that is when we say we are starting to make a new reshuffle, because there are projects that are still in the pipeline. So it will be very suicidal for the president to say, I'm bringing in someone that is new, when we have challenges at the moment that are still in the pipeline. I think it's only fair that you bring people that understand that have been in the cabinet to try and at least conclude what is happening up until 2019. It's only then that he will say, I need a new cabinet. Because remember, part of the resolution that he made, he said, I'm going to actually shorten the number of ministers. That is number one, which he did not do now. By virtue of him, as I say at the moment, it shows that Hasso Kali's plan of action to say, the ministers, the number of ministers, other departments are going to emerge. So if now President Ramaphosa is unfair and so forth, it's not fair for us as South Africans. I think let's give him a chance until he's elected officially after the national general elections in 2019.
Mtholo, thank you very much. Mtholo calling us from Sharpeville there. Well, we are still waiting for the president to get to our studios. He had confirmed and all was set. So we are hoping that indeed he would not renege on that commitment that he had given. But indeed, what are your thoughts? Do you think they have a point? Was it time, or should President Ramaphosa be given time to phase out the old guard, so to say, and perhaps bring in young people? It would be good to hear from you, members also of the ANC Youth League. Thabo, welcome. You are calling us from Alexander.
Come on, Paul. No, man, I'm not happy about what the Youth League is trying to do.
Yeah.
The concern about the time President Zuma, reshuffle, Abusuru, Robesi, they didn't say that one. Why now Ramaphosa, they were not happy? He's the president, he's the new president.
Yes.
And then
yeah.
So why now Youth League, they are not happy? Ramaphosa is saying no. As President Zuma did before. So they are very unfair, my brother. Collen Maine and his Youth League, they are very unfair. And they are not, I'm calling as a young person, they are not representing me, those people. This is democracy. Meaning they are despising the new leadership now.
Thabo, I hear you. Thank you very much for that call, Thabo, calling us from Alexander. Well, there's a point that has been made, all over the social medias and all that. People saying, yeah, but they never complained when the previous president reshuffled. So why are they complaining now? Maybe they were heavily involved or intensely involved in the reshuffle. They were perhaps consulted, and that is something that we would really love to hear from Collen Maine, who had said he was getting to our studios in Hatfield, and we await his arrival there. But meanwhile, let's hear from you as our viewers. What do you think of this, the Youth League's statements that, look, we are not consulted, the cabinet does not reflect the population, general population that is of South Africa. But let's take a quick break, hoping that by the time we come back, Collen Maine will be in our studios in Pretoria. This is Question Time. Please don't go away.
Resigned zone. Being complimented on your weave when you're not wearing one. When your washing machine gives you all your socks back.
With so many good deals at the Tops at Spa Subfest, you'll find any reason to celebrate. Buy a case of Castle Lager Handies for only $189.99. Only at the Tops at Spa Subfest.
Welcome to Media Monitor, the show that analyzes the big news stories that made headlines. We bring you robust discussions on stories that made headlines in the week, where we interact with media analysts to unpack these top stories. Join me every Sunday morning from 9 to 10 Central African Time as I bring you riveting news and analysis.
Stay tuned to Media Monitor every Sunday from 9 a.m. When life takes a different turn.
If I didn't eat the speak, he was going to evict me.
Your will to persevere is ignited.
I'm not a professional speaker, but I'll try my best to give you a word of inspiration.
He was just trying to provide for his family.
If you can't accept it, change it. If you cannot change it, accept it.
And a new story begins.
Made a resolve to myself. I'm learning something new.
Upilong, every Friday at 5:30. Be part of the life-changing journey.
Okay, welcome back. You're still watching Question Time, and indeed now we have the president of the ANC Youth League, but he's on the line. Collen Maine, welcome to Question Time. We had thought you would join us from our Hatfield studios, but let's perhaps just look at the what informed the ANC Youth League's concerns around the non-inclusion of young people in the executive of government.
Well, as you've seen in the statement, we did say that the ANC needs to appreciate that our society is generally very young, and that should find expression in the leadership of the ANC and in whatever appointments that the ANC does. But also the ANC needs to capacitate the younger generation, because this generation is the one that are going to take South Africa to move the country forward. So if you retain or appoint cabinet in the manner in which it is appointed, it then becomes a problem for us, where there's no appreciation of the potential or the skills that younger comrades who are in parliament can the contribution that they can make in the executive.
Now, one of our callers earlier was raising a point that the ANC Youth League never complained when previously President Zuma reshuffled his cabinet. What lies behind these concerns?
Well, you should recall that people recall that the last reshuffle of President Zuma, former President Zuma, affirmed a number of young people into cabinet. Now we are allowed to raise issues in the African National Congress. Then we will continue to do so without fear or favor. So we are going to raise this issue that we thought that the leadership would appreciate better.
So, were you consulted as the ANC Youth League in as far as this reshuffle is concerned?
Well, I'm sure the question is the Youth League normally consulted when reshuffles are made? This is an exercise that is performed on behalf of the entire organization movement by the officials of the ANC. For us, it's the issue of consulted or not being consulted. It's not a real of the. What is important? The issue I'm raising is that the leadership, as it does give deployments, must appreciate the realities on the ground.
Okay, let's take our calls. Mshengu, welcome. Okay, it's Netu, not Mshengu. Netu, welcome.
It's Neto.
Oh, Ncedo, Xolo bhuti wam.
Mpho?
Yeah.
Oh, captured?
No, not necessarily. Yeah, the feed that I was receiving was giving me a different one. No.
All right. My question is, as the president, the US president, were they consulted before by the previous president, Jacob Zuma? I'm asking that question.
Well, he's on the line. He's listening.
Hello, sir. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Colin is listening. He's on the line.
Okay. Now, my question was that maybe consulted before, ne? By President Jacob Zuma. Why is it now necessary that they complain that they were not consulted? Because we never heard them complaining before.
Okay.
People have been complaining that they were not consulted when former president reshuffled the cabinet in the middle of the night. Why is it now that they are complaining in this new president? And Mpho,
yes,
it's only gonna be 1 year. Can't they wait until next year and wait and see if there won't be young people in the next cabinet?
Okay, thanks very much.
That is my question.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
All righty, President.
Well, thank you, Mpho. I did say that the issue for us is not about being consulted or not. Well, I'll repeat what I said, is that the ANC leadership needs to appreciate that South Africa is generally a younger country, so that should find expression in the leadership positions of the African National Congress. And I'm sure when you raise an issue, it doesn't amount to a complaint. And if we can be very factual as you make this call and not begin to cut discussions on the African National Congress, if they seem to raise our views.
Okay. Now, did you have any preferences, perhaps, that you would have loved to be included in the executive?
We were just saying that there were a number of young people in Parliament. There are a number of younger generations in Parliament who were supposed to be considered. We don't have a particular name that you are advancing. We're just saying that the leadership ought to have appreciated that reality.
Okay. Perhaps if we may just broaden our talk here, Colin. The ANC has supported a motion by the EFF in Parliament on the expropriation of land without compensation, which is, of course, something that started within the ranks of the ANC Youth League, but could not find expression within the ANC. How do you feel that mission of the Youth League, which you lead, has now come to fruition via the EFF?
Well, I don't think you are correct if you say via the EFF. Now, Parliament is a house which different political parties are represented in that house. The EFF did push that, and the ANC came to an amendment. And a number of political parties supported that particular motion. So for me, it's political parties across political lines supporting that particular motion.
Okay, Dingan, you are in Witbank. Welcome.
Hi, Mpho. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Dingan.
Thanks, Mpho. I just want to add on the issue raised today by you, and I would like also to praise the leadership of ANC with Mr. Collen. Like for the past years, it's nearly a decade now, we haven't heard anything from the ANC Youth League. There was no any activity because they were captured by the President Jacob Zuma. But now, because he's a new president, they want to try to disrespect Mr. Ramaphosa. So what I'm trying to say is that to entertain the ANC Youth League you must do corrupt so that they will be on your side. Why they didn't talk about the cabinet reshuffling after Jacob Zuma did the cabinet reshuffling during the night, but now because it's Ramaphosa, and Ramaphosa is not entertaining them because they've already said on the Elective Conference that they are on NPZ side. So now they are trying to make Ramaphosa name weaker, because I know what the ANC Youth League to be recognized, you must do what they are saying. Since Julius Malema left, nothing activity we have seen in ANC Youth League. That you can just say there's the ANC Youth League party. At the present, we don't see them. They are just by the name. Thanks, Paul.
All right. Collen, your response?
Look, we don't need anybody's permission to raise views, okay, including President Ramaphosa. And we are among the first people who have went out and will still do that to defend and accept the outcomes of Congress of Nazareth. President Ramaphosa is the president of all of us in the African National Congress. He is not a president of a particular section of the members of the ANC who may have preferred him going towards the Nazareth conference. So that call is quite disingenuous. And if we can remove our feelings from this and deal with the real issues, the particular issue that is called to comment on, I think it will help. We should not look at it being raised by the Youth League or by colleagues. If it's not a fact that there are no younger people in the executive, it's a fact. We are not raising it because it's President Ramaphosa. We want to make him weak or not. No. Anybody who touches the president, touches the Youth League, we defend him. We defend Zuma because of the president of the ANC. We'll do the same of the current president.
All right. Collen, thank you for talking to us. That was the president of the ANC Youth League, Collen Maine. We had expected him to come to Joburg studios, which he had agreed. Unfortunately, he later requested that we book him Pretoria studios, which we did, and we ended up with him only on the line. Our apologies to our viewers for that mishap, but let's meet again next week on Monday. From me and the entire crew, you have yourself a wonderful time.